Alright, welcome back to my impressions of E3 Day 1. We're halfway through the EA press conference right now. Not like they're not showing it right now, I'm talking about it, obviously. So we just talked about Bulletstorm. Next game I want to talk about is Dead Space 2. I never played the first one, but I've heard great things about it. And looking at this game, I can see why the first one got such good reviews, because this game looks awesome. There's nothing new and super crazily innovative about it. The only big difference is you're in like a big city now in space or something instead of the mining ship or whatever. I don't really know where the first one took place, but that's what they were talking about. It was the big difference, but it just looks like a really good survival horror game, just like the first one was. So I need to go buy the first one because I'm sure it's cheap by now. Next up, I'll talk about this the Old Republic or whatever it's called, the MMO by BioWare that's in the Star Wars galaxy. They just showed a CGI thing, no gameplay, so nothing real exciting there. I don't think that I've heard bad things about that game so far, and that it's not going to do very well, but I don't know for sure because obviously it's not out yet. I don't know if it's in alpha or beta yet. Anyway, especially if it's coming out when like Final Fantasy 13 and World of Warcraft Cataclysm and maybe Guild Wars 2 are coming out. It's going to be around the same time as those, so it's going to definitely be competing. And then, well, they also had the sports games. I think they had Madden. Yeah, they did have Madden because they had Joe Montana there. And I just skipped through all that. They also had some, like, motion. No, that was Ubisoft. I don't know, but just sports games they were talking about. And then they talked more about Your Shape for the Kinect. And I just skipped through those because I really could care less about sports games. Madden's, I'm sure, just going to be the same exact game with maybe one difference. So if you like Madden, go look it up. But one of the coolest games they showed was Crysis 2. I've never played this first one, but now I really want to. I know that it was really ahead of its time in terms of graphics. But Crysis 2, this one's in New York instead of the jungle like the first one. I believe the first one was. And it looks just awesome. Just like robot fights and stuff. It was really hectic. And it just looked really cool. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just futuristic and cool. It kind of reminded me of if Metal Gear Solid was even more in the future. Metal Gear Solid 4 was even more in the future and completely first-person shooter, all action, gung-ho, shoot everything. Also, EA announced that they've been buying more and more independent companies, which kind of sucks. Like, they bought Double Fine, which made Psychonauts was my favorite game, so hopefully they don't, like, make them make crappy mainstream games. That would suck. But, like I said, they did have some cool games in their lineup. Now, moving on to Ubisoft, I think they had a really good idea. They had Joel McHale host it, who is the host of Ease the Soup and Community, the sitcom, and he's really funny, so he did a good job of making everybody laugh, and yeah, it was good. They opened up the Ubisoft conference with a live demo of a game called Children of Eden that used the Kinect. It was pretty much like Rez, but you use your hand to control it, and then to like actually shoot your beams, you have to like select your targets and then slam your hand against the wall. Not in real life, but like the virtual wall. It was kind of weird. It didn't sound as good as Rez. Like, it just didn't. The music didn't go together as well. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. It's pretty much Assassin's Creed now. It looks like there might be some co-op. They didn't say that though. They did say there's going to be multiplayer where you can do versus, and it looks a lot more like action-packed and not as like assassin stealthy. like the part they demoed was just an action-packed like castle siege thing, and he was shooting a cannon and stuff. So that might be good. I still haven't played the second one, but I really want to. Shaun White skateboarding was also announced. It actually looks like a decent skateboarding game. It kind of looks like, I don't know, like you can transform the world kind of, and it's kind of like bringing life back to the world. Everything's gray, and then you start skating and color starts coming back and blah blah blah. So that might be, for a skating game, it looked good. I just hope that you don't have to play as Shaun White, because his hair is really distracting, or at least it was in that demo. Next up, they had a thing called Battle Tag, which was just laser tag that you like install on your computer, and it just tracks the score and stuff. It was pretty stupid, and I felt bad for Joel McHale in that part, because he was acting like it was cool. Like, he had to act like it was cool, but obviously it wasn't. The next one was even worse. It was called Energy, and they hooked up his finger to like this little like heartbeat sensor or something like that, and they put a laptop in front of him, and it was this weird guy in suspenders with red hair, and like it was this game where it just taught you how to breathe, and it was like in, out, and it was just following this wave thing, and it was so stupid. And he's like, yeah, you can increase your level and really reduce your stress. And Joel McHale's like, wow, that's awesome. And you could tell that he's like totally acting, and felt really awkward because that game was shit. Motion Sports, it's pretty much the Kinect sports game of Ubisoft, another Raving Rabbids game where they go through time. No gameplay footage, but Raving Rabbids are always fun games. A new Ghost Recon game, like Future Warrior or something like that. I'm not a big fan of the Ghost Recon series, but this one actually looked really cool. Like you can be invisible, kind of invisible camo type stuff, and a lot more stealthy gameplay, but action stealth kind of, so it's not really boring. So we'll see how that is. And it also had some just real intense combat too. Next up, they showed Driver San Francisco, which looked okay. It looks like it's only driving game, so that kind of sucks. I like Driver when you could be in and out of the car, kind of like GTA. But this one, apparently your character's in a coma, and he thinks he has this ability to switch cars, so you can like switch cars just out of nowhere. Like you pause the game and just choose another car on the road, and then you're instantly driving it. So I don't think I'm gonna be too jazzed about that, and if you're into driving games, maybe it'll be cool. I don't know. Project Dust, they just showed some in-game footage, but nothing like playing the game. It was just like, I don't know, I have no idea what it's about. It's weird, but it looks cool at the same time, and the narrator had an awesome voice. Then I think the coolest thing that Ubisoft had was a game called Rayman Origins, and obviously everyone knows Rayman. I don't know what he was doing with these Raving Rabbids, because they have nothing to do with Rayman, but Rayman Origins, it's straight up 2D side-scrolling platforming game, and it looks awesome. And it looks like it's going to be co-op too with this other character that's pretty cool. I'm really excited for that one. I've never played a Rayman game except Raving Rabbids, but this one looks awesome. And I've heard good things about the original. Hopefully this one's not as hard though. Next thing was they have a game called Trackmania where you build your own track, share it with people, blah blah blah. And now they're expanding it, calling it Mania Planet, where they're having Trackmania 2, Questmania, and like Shoot Mania or something like that. So now you can create your own racing tracks and games, you can create your own first-person shooter games, and you can create your own RPG games. And they didn't show anything, like any footage of it, except the Trackmania one. But it's a really cool idea, so. And it's on the PC, which I think is way better. Like Little Big Planet, it's cool and everything, but it's so much easier to create levels and games on a PC than having to use, a controller. Anyway, and then to end it all off, they had some people come out and dance to Michael Jackson's Beat It. Apparently they were in the movie This Is It. I have no idea why they were there. It was so pointless. And the guy before was just like, just think that with the current technology, you could be as good or better than these guys. And then they came out and danced. It made no sense. It was so dumb. They didn't announce a game that had to do with Michael Jackson or anything. It was just, alright, thanks for dancing. Yeah. Alright, so tomorrow we got Nintendo and Sony. So hopefully they do a better job than Nintendo, and hopefully there's some other third-party developers that have some conferences tomorrow. And I will update you guys on day 2 later.